I always wanted a pair of black cowboy boots. I thought they would make me look taller and rangy like a gal named Slim that a guy could go for. So one day I went over to Walker's Western Warehouse and I got me a pair of black Nokonas. Fancy gold stitching down the side and shit kicker pointy toes. $250. You know, the salesman said that they would be good for my arches. I have lousy arches.
She's obsessed with her arches.
My older sister.
She's always been obsessed with her arches.
My younger sister. Well, a couple months later, I met a guy I fell in love with, Chase. He had 6 pairs of cowboy boots. They weren't Nokonas, but they were really nice Tony Lamas. Turns out he was the same cute guy I saw earlier, just leaning against a Doric column at a party at the School of Architecture.
It was Halloween. Don't leave that out.
He had a chainsaw through his chest.
How could she resist him?
She couldn't.
Well, a couple months later, I wanted to go out. Let's see, where was I?
You followed him to Seattle.
I did, no. He invited me.
No, he did not.
Okay, so the reason he wanted to go out west, at least one of them, was to get away from his highly dysfunctional family in Connecticut. I told him, your highly dysfunctional family in Connecticut, and then when I told him, he said, now hold on now, don't be talking about my highly dysfunctional family. You want to talk dysfunctional, let's talk about your family.
What about your sisters?
What about your sisters who hate me?
Which we did.
Well, because of the way he treated her.
Well, no, she let him. He couldn't have behaved that way if she hadn't let him.
We discussed it for hours.
Behind her back.
What a jerk he was.
Why is she in love with him?
Why?
Hold it, where was I?
His incredibly dysfunctional family.
Right. So I was beginning to think that he loved his family more than me. Now, but if I ever told him, he wouldn't believe me. So he would go off on holiday without me, bearing gifts that I had helped him shop for. And he would come back with these old Shetland sweaters that reminded him of his childhood. When what I really wanted was for him to come back and realize that he had missed me terribly, that he wanted to be with me, that he loved me, and he wanted to marry me, or at least he was going to introduce me to his fucking parents, and I told him so in those words.
And he said,
If you're going to insult my family, I'm out of here.
and she said,
Fine.
what?
Fine, go.
That is
Who
amazing!
cares? Just take your fucking boots with you.
And he left!
Just like that.
You know, after 7 years and 7 horrible Christmases, he had accumulated 12 pairs of cowboy boots, while I still had my 1 pair of well-oiled, well-cared-for Nokonas. He kept his Shetland sweaters, and I left. I went to LA, found a good shrink.
Where we live.